Feels if you get rolling, rise with pitch and density. Built for load, hi-hats built to a machine gun rhythm. Snare pattern mimics, countdown clicks. Bass crowd creeps in layered with glitch and risers. Trigger the zone detonation, 3, 2, silences, then click. Massive detonation, kick snare hit with explosive layering. Bass is modulated like a shockwave. Verbal, gritty and mechanical. Lead synth, buzzing, souls glitch, riser. Mimics triggered, exploded, explosive. Circle chop, boom, boom, drop line. Signature, bass tunes every 4 bars like the fuses. Relighting and breathing, reading, re-noted chamber. 50 filters down, distant crop fox and glitch static. For sample calmly, screaming charge, stand by. A reverse riser, sucks all sound in silence. The silence of the murder of a kilo is back in order. That's the top line. Lit fills with a take detonator misfires. New layer, acid style, synth original. Adds urgency for color sources clicking on beat. A 212, all sound pauses, then a massive one-shot boom. Brings it back even harder, this time with vocals and rough, that's drop line. Drums fade, the sub rumbles linger. Mechanical voice, detonation confirmed, drop line disengaged. Whose effects goes out, ending with a single bass reverse hell that slowly fades the smoke into silence. 808 layering, multi-auction sub bass bit ranges, distortion, clip, key transient. Fuse burns, explosions, alarm sirens, bomb drop whooshes. Trap stands layered with blast caps, kick CQ for thumb crunch. Fox turns, granular chop lumps, aggressive crowd chants.
Piss crackles over a low mechanical hum. You hear static pulses like encrypted transmissions trying to connect. Coded whisper, beat behind filters. Access denied, baseline level, black class clearance. Time 9-1, show flight surveillance camera sweeps that. Micro-rhythmic hi-hat ticks from low end atmospheric paths with shifting phase. Distant bass hit muted like it's trying to break through a firewall. The percussion starts to form a rhythm minimal but tight. High-pass filter rolls up on the incoming sub. Stabs on filter bass coming in and out as if being censored in real time. Vocal fragment stutters. Two unclear for drop initiated. Station climbs, white noise begins to distort into sharp edges. It feels like something being hidden on purpose. Baseline is unleashed, but not fully. Main bass synth fades in and out rapidly, ducking behind distortion. Phyllisly the glitched waveform like the baseline is being live redacted. Some kick punch with surgical impact, then vanish. Rush these mouths across channels like ricocheting in a tunnel. Like you're listening to a fucking weapon being tested behind a glass wall. It's intense, but you're only getting fragments. Remerge, reversed and modulated. Everything slows almost a dead stop. Then a Synthwave voice that's trace detected, deleting from memory. Zeros rebuilt and cut every few beats, like code overriding itself. The second drop brings in a heavier sub-layer under the original bass. More corruption FX, sample rate reduction, granular stretching, and random silence. It's offset by milliseconds, giving it that off-grid hacker feel. At 240, the bass vanishes entirely for 2 seconds, and a glitch burst of full waveform distortion smashes back in. Filter rolls itself through encrypted layers. I have to solve the white noise that kick lowers and bits with each beat until it becomes inaudible. This baseline log has been purged, memory rewiped. A single sub-hit fades into silence, dying sword on ping. Unleashed, but not fully. The main bass inside core. The feels like something's being hidden on purpose. Boom, the baseline is unleashed, but not fully. But not fully. But not fully. The main baseline is on the side core. The not fully. But not fully. But not fully. The main bass fades in and out rapidly, ducking behind distortion. Filter sweeps glitch the waveform like the bass line is being live redacted. Sub-kicks punch with surgical impact and vanish. Glitchy snares bounce across channels like ricocheting in a tunnel. It's like you're listening to a classified weapon being tested behind a glass wall. It's intense, but you're only getting fragments. Pads re-emerge, reversed and modulate. Re-guild the brilliant cut every few beats like code overriding itself. Then a second drop brings in a heavier sub-layer under the original bass. More corruption effects, free reduction, granular protection, and random silencing. Set by millisecond. The sound of a massive industrial chamber preparing for ignition. Clicks, fuel, insane distortion effects. Combustion protocol initiated. Chamber pressure 87%. The mechanical creaks and steam vents. The distance in flickering like a pilot light. Pulse layers reverb simulate tension and steel. Tension rises with thermal pressure. The siren glows more distorted. Fuels increase in speed with a pulsing flame filter applied. Background samples include heat wave synths and crackling embers. Countdown begins, ignition and vibrate. Then all sound drops up to silence for one breath. Boom. The combustion hits like a tank of bass exploding. Massive flame texture baseline sync, overviven and modulated to growl. Percussion is dry and punchy, kick sounds like a flamethrower blast. Drop rhythm is stop-based, almost industrial, but swung slightly for bounce. White noise layers sweep across a mix like heat distortion, inner element. Every 8 bars, the bassline overheats, glitching and roaring louder before cutting out momentarily like an overheated engine. Muffled alarms and deep pulsing synth throbs like a backup generator. Faint vocal chop repeats like a malfunctioning A. Combust, combust, combust. Slow flame effects swell in reverse, leading to the second drop returns hotter and faster, creating fibrillation combustion sound. The two stabs at urgency. The puzzle tensions fire extinguish the bursts as the metal and spark feedback. Baseline twists circulars like a flaming whip in a storm is unpredictable, wild and heavy. At 2:15, a full burnout sweep sucks the energy upward, followed by a low sub detonation to close the drop. Rhythm slows, you hear heat dissipation, dripping molten sounds that's releasing pressure. A single mechanical voice echoes, combustion complete, system offline. Final sound is some bass pulse that fades into a single spark. Silence. Silence. Earthquake, rock, bumble effects, reverb, heavy mechanical clumps, voiding, containment failure, structural collapse imminent. You hear dizzy machinery creaking, then silence, a pulse begins. Held up, crack, formation, metallic rises layered with crumbling textures. Sterile speed up like reinforced bolts. Core integrity, 3%, 2% will freeze. Breaker engaged. Gary Gage. Drop 1, 3%, doctoral failure. Rhythm stops, heavy, distorted, syncopated bass hands kick a stale often like a jackhammer. Bass ground modulate slowly, and then fatigue under pressure. It makes rhythm shift every 8 bars to simulate collapse. Signature effects, plate reverb crashes, distant blast echoes them, and level stress creeps between hairs. It breaks, so pause, through silence, having an enemy. Limits a brain, breaker, vocal loop, core breaker, breaker, core breaker, core breaker, quick snare, roll ramps, tension to red line. Even heavier, baseline outlet with reverb and elapsed. Shockwave effect hits hard and resumes drop. Everything slows and lowers in pitch. The final bass growl dissolves into static. Machinery shuts down with Doppler pitched power down. Core integrity, zero collapse, total. Last sound low and subliminal fading like an underground quake. Sound low and suburban fading like an underground quake. Shift every 8 bars to simulate collapse. Signature effects. Growling drones mixed with distant thunder and wind. Faint whispers sample distorted through static. Voiceover countdown, engage systems failing. Brace for impact. Sound countdown. Subtle glitch effects. Slow, ominous impacts. Occasional metallic clangs. Occasional metallic clangs. Tension builds with escalating snare rolls and rising bass risers. A distorted sim motif hints at the impending drop. Background sounds of alarms and warning beams layer in. Vacuum drop with crushing bass and heavy synths. Aggressive growling bass with layered distortion. Sharp buzzing drums with rapid rhythm and full thermal fluids. Voice unleashed that cut through the mix like alarms. Key moment at 1:15, the bass briefly cuts to a minimal sub-hit before crashing back full force. Calm, eerie pads with reverse vocal snippets. Distant sounds of chaos echo like a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Heavier and darker than before. Bass wobbles modulated for maximum aggression. Drums gain more complex syncopation and metallic hits. New layers of distorted synth noise swirl throughout. A glitch effect simulating a system crash builds tension towards the outro. Sound slowly degrading to static and low rumbling. The voiceover returns. System failure complete, end of signal. Final sub-hit fades into silence. Tension builds with escalating snare rolls and rising pitch risers. A distorted synth motif hints at the impending drop. Background sounds of alarms and warning beeps layer in. Massive drop with crushing bass and heavy synths. Aggressive crawling bass with layered distortion. Rushing sharp punchy drums with trapezoids and influence. Glitching leads that cut through the mist like alarms. Key moment at 1:15 with this briefly cuts to a minimal sub-hit before crashing back full force. Calm, eerie pads with reverse vocal snippets. Distant sounds of chaos echo like a post-apocalyptic wasteland. In darker than before, bass wobbles modulated for maximum aggression. Prophet whisper sample distorted through static. Voiceover countdown, engage systems failing. Brace for impact. Sound countdown. Engage systems failing. Brace for impact. Cell pellets. During synths, lo-fi radio hiss, static glitches layered over broken time signatures, glitch, robotic voice, frame sync lost, system lag at 0,000 milliseconds. Atmospheric drones slowly shift pitch, twitchy laser pings bounce left, right in stereo. Kick drum enters in halftime on uppercut with tape warble. A rising sweep begins, but it keeps stuttering like it's caught in a loop. Hi-hats, scare and triplets, rising in pitch. Sound design includes bit crushed risers, uncade error tones, servers tones climbing like corrupted data. Drop from 0, system overloaded on 3, 2, 1. All drop. In reality feel, those notes jump between beats like skip frames. You realize your perception of the track is literally breaking down. The drop isn't glee, it's aggressive, glitchy, and fragmented. Reverb, heavy breakdown pads swell like digital oceans. Suddenly, silence, then a hard stereo voice says, you have exited the timeline. Reinitializing velocity, a single snare taps, then doubles, triples, forming a ticking bomb pattern. Harder, more broken, baseline becomes pitch bent and key shifted live like the software is melting. Couldn't trust the mix like I undercut with tape warble, but a cape terror wing. These are our sunny bits, but it keeps stuttering. Gets caught in a loop. Hi-hats in a room, plays under the final vocal. Timeline fragments terminated. You were never here. Then a hard abrupt frame pop, a single glitch hit cuts everything. And audio buffers, syncopated rhythm pattern, effort, at.
Warning, unauthorized signal detected. Broadcast contains hostile wavelengths. Compression threshold breached. Build-up system overload. Input unstable. Decorrupted clock.
Input unstable.
Base integrity collapsing.
Frequency spike in 3, 2, 1.
Crop locked. Signal detected.
Hostile, momentum not detected. Hostile wave, nothing get the static hit. Broadcast rupture, signal lost. Break, recalibrate the pulse. Require hostile, break the nose. Triples uttering hostile frequency. Pulse lock stabilized. Bandwidth combat, a firewall, no escape.
Band fracture signal engaged. Hostile, ignite our corrupted clock.
Unauthorized transmission now global.
Prepare for total frequency collapse.
Compress to silence.
Signal lost. System overload. Vertical. Pump unstable. Decaying.
Build up system overload.
Build up system overload.
Build up system overload.
Breached. Drop signal detected. Hostile. Wave. Nothing.
Hostile. Wave. Nothing. Compass integrity collapsing. Frequency spike in 3, 2, 1. Corrupt signal detected. 1. Corrupt signal detected. 1. Hard abrupt signal detected. 1. Fast forward faster kit. Rattling light static hit. Broadcast rupture signal lost. Recalibrate the pulse. Recalibrate the pulse.
Wave. Nothing. Pastel. Unauthorized transmission now global. Prepare for total frequency collapse. Then cut to silence. Signal lost. Ghost. 2. Signal lost. Unstable. Decay. Complete. Unauthorized transmission now global. Prepare for total frequency collapse.
Cut to silence.
Signal lost. Cradle dome system overload.
Cradle frequency collapse. Signal lost. Still. Wave. Nothing. Decay. Complete.
Lines that rise like turbines, spinning out their static across the stereo field. A deep hum building like a generator charging. Commence ignition sequence.
Engine heat at 47%. Laser stabs and industrial clicks. Set the rhythm very minimal, like beating inside the launch bay. Kick drum begins slow, stopping with heavy reverb. Hi-hats start ticking like a mechanical timer. A mid-range arpeggio line climbs upward. Every 4 bars adding distortion.
Drum slow. 4.
The final seconds pitch up into an intense rise. Like glitches just before a climax.
Baseline surgeon added.
Baseline, side chain to snap like an electric whip. Leads 30 FM synths that sound like twin jet engines at max thrust. Kick strokes high and pounding with surgical precision rock rhythm. Off-grid flame with glitchy dropouts and pitch dives every 4 bars. If the picture moment, all instruments cut but a rising 808 tone and reverse snare, then boom, a reload style second blast. Everything melts in the low drones and oscillating static. A robotic voice whispers, fuel-fed thermal core unstable.
Distorted pads bending out of tune, simulating overheated machinery, fiddling and dead drum aggressively on every performer.
Baseline now includes growl, layered waveforms, sweet dot chop, the black flamethrowers firing in staccato bursts. Delay effects placed aggressively on every 4th snare to create looping drop echoes. This section feels like the engine blew open and the drop keeps going with raw energy. Play filter down, kicking sub bass, remain while glitchy stutters fade. A final shutdown pro plays, a modulated sine wave descending until silence.
Final voice line. Mission complete. Mission classified. Click. 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 Synth hum like a malfunctioning power core. A distorted voice whispers.
Initializing override, impact.
Key textures rise and mechanical clicks echo like an automated weapons system booting. Glitch pulse, metallic clanks. This explosion tail.
Tension builds with a rising siren system drums begin. A close syncopated trap beat with industrial snares. A massive riser climbs with cybernetic vocal chops glitching in and out.
You are not ready. System breach.
Bass slaves hit hard. A brutal mechanical link growls like a jet turbine eating asphalt. Sub bass kicks blast every bar like a hydraulic piston slamming concrete.
Add a two metallic synth with a reverse tail that slaps like a railgun.
Recording off beat breaks into halftime. Deep echoing paths give the illusion of a calm. As the robotic vocals say, overriding and engage. Prepare for terminal drop. Hi-hats return in triplets. The pressure is mounting again. Second drop brings even heavier distortion. The synths are now lit with low-end feedback. Glitch artifacts and reversing backhats. There's a wrecking ball and download.
Elements fall away like the aftermath of an explosion. The lead dissolves into bit-crushed debris. One last line. Impact complete. System reset.
Track ends on a glitched out reverb tail.
Closing sings beneath the heartbeat of the dying reactor. Hollow clangs and vapors to dark, circling the backdoor. Distorted radio voice crackles.
Meltdown protocol initiated. Evacuate immediately.
Sound design. Ambient with low pass filtering. Distortion rise
rising subtly under the surface. Counter style clicking woven into percussion. Tension swells through the green, rising synth growl. The kick becomes sharper. Snare grows louder, sounding like hydraulic bursts. The female robotic voice repeats. Warning, core breach imminent. Paralyze yourself for 1 second of silence. Impact, the bass slams in like an implosion. Slow but crushing. They mix me. Rhythmic distortion with tail end flares like fire. Drum self-stress style, trash cans, snares, piston kicks. Some layers rumble like a DJ for ride. A glitching pitch warp leads screeches like metal bending. Under heat signets refill, no talent. Rocks and red triples, pitch shifts to melt into the next phrase like a synth caught on fire. A low drone fades, everything down. Distant machinery, ambience. A warped voice says, containment failed. Then silence and a rising hiss like steam release. A more chaotic, corrective version of drop. One bass, now splinters, broken rhythms. Broken, song is more unstable. Rumbling like the floor beneath the blast. A new melody appears. A descending chromatic synth line of mimics melts out. Decay, liquid fire fills thick moments like system shorting out. Key moments, drum detonates with an all-out sound wall, then suddenly collapses. Just reverb tails, static, and the sound of cooling metal. Final robotic whisper. Meltdown complete, no survivors detected. Fade to low end silence. Fade to low end silence.
Rhythm Jasons cascade like a digital waterfall. A chiptune vocal sample repeats. Let's go, let's go, let's go. High-pitched risers and sharp hats set urgent pace. Sound design highlights, burrowing synthetic leads with pitch bends. Fast-paced hi-hats and clap rolls. A background layer of glitching digital noises. Slow that intensifies with a speeding snare roll and layered synth chords that rise in pitch. Vocal chops slicing rhythm. Faster, harder, now. White noise sweep crescendos preparing for impact.
The drop proceed with an ultra-fast bassline driven by a plunging kick and snappy trap snare. So the bites all leads with fast vibrato.
Layered distorted sub-bass growls underpinning the melody. Syncopate bass rhythm with glitch stutters and rapid-fire synth stabs. Signature moment at 0 feet for a short break where the tempo doubles to a hyper-speed synth flow before snapping back.
Everything cuts down to sparse, back to reverse vocals, a robotic voice echo.
Overload system surge recalibrating.
This moment gives a breath before the next mirage.
In more aggressive way with new vocal effects and sharper synth leads. Bougie trap has cascade faster. Baseline introduces rolling lanes and pitch slides. See energy ramps up with additional pentayears, leading complex patterns. At 205, the melody shifts into a minor key for a darker, more intense feel.
Elements gradually strip away, synths descend and pitch while the bass fades out. Final vocal sample fades in and out. Keep running, keep fighting. The track ends with a filtered synth sound that echoes into silence. The track ends with a filtered synth stab that echoes into silence.
Marching footsteps fading over crackling radio static. Military voice sample echoes through interference. Command to all units. No fly zone enforced. Drop authorization granted. Helicopter plays. High frequency drone hum. Radar ping textures. Sterile stack up like artillery. Charges loading. Contexturizers with machine works and bomb.
Machine gun hi-hats and triplets. Screeching leads mimic silence and missile off sounds. Signature moment. In one final missile track rises and hits right as the bass falls into a downward spiral wobble. Hostile contact confirmed. Low end audios with glitchy go static and broken audio white beeps. Distorted radio voice uncompromised and reinforcements. A gritty synth pad simulates airlock pressure release. Second drop breathes heavier horror. Double bass rhythm with sharp stops the phrases. New laser cut leads synths engage and fire rhythm and will. And fire and will. Weapon chopper book and beat military stop. Mimicking tactical boom songs, steel floors. Siren phase debris clatters. A deep subtone of bubbles as the radio voice fades. Mission complete, so is silence. Follow not a final payload drop. It's glass. Pulses like heartbeat monitors inside prop suits. Intercom shattered planes and faintly digitized command voice. Quad observers drop window in 30 seconds. Sound design highlights. Atmosphere highs. Live ambience. Rising alarms blended with distortion masked vocals. Tactile beats and gearlock on sounds create rhythmic tension. Metallic scrapes feed into hi-hat ticks. The drop bass is open and sound tightens. Drums become more percussive, punching through radio static. Spiral sequence builds like a Gatling gun charging. Tension risers modulated to simulate air pressure compressing. Final countdown, 3, 2, 1, drop. Impact like a mech suit, just slammed through a steady block. Distorted bassline with the war horn style lead synth. Synth. And fainting static, rich rubber widow. Drop complete area, destabilized enemy response unknown. A similar bloody synth cycle slowly and then growing low and rough. You can feel a reload coming. The second drop goes heavier, darker, slower. Additions, some bass extended downward, an octave. Snare down metal bands like layers like a slammed riot shield. A new call and response mimics machine gun fire and its shield bashes. Radio interference strips. The drop bass interference blended with the pre-noise. Ambient textures return, smoke clearing the battlefield. A fading transmission speaks. Drop success extraction, inbound commence exfil. Final sound, a heavy synth rumble descending into silence like a powered down war machine. Rocks become more percussive, punching through radio static. Snurgle sequence builds like a Gatling gun charging. Tension risers, module inbound commence exfil. Final sound, heavy synth rumble descending into silence like a powered down war machine. Fake distorted bassline with the war horn style lead synth.